West, 125th. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building. This is 1 West, 125th. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building, nigga. They let us in the building, nigga. Beers, braids, and boots, even though I got a bald head, long nose. Pistol, I feel that bitch with a dog. Tissue pulling out that boy's head. Shit's chopped, looking like a bulls at a street fight. 2 hands faster than the Honda. You don't want no problems, roll up on you like Blanca. 1 West, that's the mantra. Headband with a spray gun like Contra. Check your attitude again. Stretch longitude to latitude. Come on. I'm a priest, bitch. So some fucking grass. Attitude to tell them 1 West by the way I walk, way I talk. On 25th Street, New York. Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commander General Yohana. This is Isupk Austin Tuesday Brotherhood class. Brotherhood and sisterhood is a weapon. Brotherhood and sisterhood is the weapon that we are going to use to get up out of these hellacious conditions that we are in. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are at the bottom, and we don't understand why. It's because we don't know who we are. We don't know where we come from. And that is a major problem in our lives, all right? In how we conduct ourselves. Okay? So tonight we are going to be talking about what is real Black history, all right? Where do we come from? Okay? What lineage, what is our line? What connects us to the Most High? Okay, and this is very, very, very important for us to understand, especially as a lost people, as a broken people, as a destroyed people. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have been destroyed. By who? By our oppressors, by everybody coming against us. Anytime we want to do something, they break our communities down. That's why we don't have a Black Wall Street. That's why we don't have a Harlem Renaissance. That's why we don't have a Rosewood. And that's why today the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under the Commander General Yohana is what? It is the only refuge for us. It is the only safe haven for us. It is the only utopia for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Everybody else, they have a utopia. They have somewhere where they can dwell. They have somewhere where they can be. Well, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have one place, and that is the home of the truth. Here in the Israelite School of UPK, under the Commander General Yohana. That's why this brotherhood and this sisterhood is so important. It is highly important. because without it, we are just a lost people. We are just lost souls and dry bones just roaming the earth. And Yagana, everybody outside of the truth, you know what they think they're doing? They think that they're a living life. The only way they're going to ever live life is if they come up under here, learn how to follow orders, learn how to say Khan out of one Khan, and learn how to have the proper structure in their lives. See, we don't have proper structure in our lives because we don't know where we come from. We believe what we were taught. We believe that we were jungle bunnies in Africa, and what they do, they just brought us over here and they gave us Jesus, Yaganat. They brought us all the way over here and they gave us Jesus. That is not what they gave us. You know what they did give us? They gave us oppression. Okay? They gave us lynchings. They gave us hell. And we are still in that hell today. And that's why we need to know what real black history is. Not what you were taught. You're not taught about Nat Turner, right? You're not taught about all the things that happened to you and your people. But you know what you are taught here? You are taught that they saved you. Your oppressors said they came and got you. You was just running around there in your underwear. Or you was running around in Africa in your underwear, Yaganan. And he put you on that ship next to your brother and sister where you could do absolutely nothing. And he said he saved you. He said they say they save us from us. Well, the Most High is going to save us from them. So tonight we're going to get into real black history. And what I mean by real black history, I mean we're going to get into the lineage of why you are an Israelite. Okay? Yagalan, let me get Genesis 4:25. Let me share my screen. But if it start acting up, then we going to cut that. Because your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Yeah, it's already acting up. Hold on, Salaki. Bear with me 1 second, Yagana. All right, we got that there. Let me just see. All right, let me turn this back on. Let's see. All right, go ahead, Yagana. Go ahead and read.
Book of Genesis, chapter 4, and verse 25. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son and called his name Seth. For God said, She hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, who Cain slew.
So last week we got into the whole Cain and Abel thing last week, right? So we know that Cain slew Abel. All right. So Adam knew his wife again, and she bare him a son. Okay, and his name was Seth. All right. It said, "For she had Salakia. For God said she has appointed another seed instead of Abel. Reading.
You the other one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, verse 26, you had
Continue
cut
reading.
out. Okay, count out, I'm gonna come. Verse 26.
Go ahead.
And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began man to call upon the name of the Lord.
You see? So we get into the lineage. We're gonna go from Adam on down. You know what I mean? Because that's important. It's important to know where we come from. It's important to know our heritage. Oh, Salakia, let me turn the screen so we can. There we go. That's what I want. All right. Give me Luke 3:37. And anytime I cut out, just go ahead and let me know instantly, you know.
Come. It's the book of Luke, chapter 3, and verse 37. Which was the son of Methuselah, which was the son of Enoch, which was the son of Jared, which was the son of Michalel, which was the son of Canaan.
You see that? So we going down. All right. We all heard of Methuselah, right? Said Methuselah, which was the son of Enoch. All right. Those are prominent names that most people know, right? But we need to see where this lineage comes from. Continue.
Verse 38, which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of which was the son of Seth.
You see, and we were just reading Genesis 4:25. It was talking about how Seth was born because Cain slew Abel, right? That's what it says, which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of God. All right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, this is where your lineage is coming from. This is how you trace your way. You know how they always want to give you those what they call it, Yaganan, 23andMe? They want to give you your DNA and all that, right?
Well,
that's what we're doing here. We're giving you your DNA. We're giving you your lineage. All right. Even though the Bible says don't strive in genealogy. Okay. That's what some of us do. And now we think we're Hamitic. Okay. We think we come from some part of Egypt. But that is not the truth. All right. Let me get Genesis 18.
What was that other one you cut out? Huh?
Genesis chapter 5, verse 18.
Come. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 5, and verse 18. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begot Enoch.
Continue.
Verse 19. And Jared lived after he begot Enoch 800 years, and begot sons and daughters. Salaki, I don't want you there.
Let me that screen. Drop down to 22. Is that better?
Come. I don't know. Verse 22.
Right,
and Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years, and he begot sons and daughters.
So he walked. You see, it says so that Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah. You see, we going down a whole lineage. Right here, what we're doing is we are taking it step by step. This is what needs to be known. All right, because you need to know why and how you were an Israelite. All right, there were things that were set in place, so when these things happen, all right, you can understand and you can go back. All right, because this is the time before Israel. But we still come from what? We come from some we come from a people, a bloodline. It was set up that certain ones would carry on the bloodline. All right. Drop down to 28.
Book of Genesis, chapter 5 and verse 28. And Lamech lived 182 years and begot a son. Verse 29. And he called his name Noah.
Called it what?
Saying, call his name Noah.
He called his name Noah. So we're watching. We're watching how it went from Adam to Seth. What it say to Enos, right? Salakia. To Enos, all right. To Enoch, all right. To Methuselah, to Lamech. Okay. You see? Now we are running down a true lineage. Right? All the way to Noah. Okay, because Lamech, all right, was Noah's father, right? Methuselah was his grandfather. This is how you know that the Lord gave Adam the law, statutes, and commandments. Why? Because Noah knew. It doesn't say that Noah was taught any goddamn thing, right? But how do we know he was taught everything? It's because it says that Noah was a just man. How could he be a just man without having any laws, any statutes, or commandments? Continue reading.
Verse 29. And he called his name Noah, saying, This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed.
You see, that ground was cursed because Adam was told he was going to till the earth, right? So that ground, it was cursed. But Noah, read that part again.
And he called his name Noah, saying, This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed.
Drop down to 32.
So I
drop down to 32. Yeah, you did too.
Verse 32, Adam 1. And Noah was 500 years old. And Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
You see, those were his 3 sons was part of the 8 people who survived the flood. Okay. So this is where all of us are going to come from. We're going to come from these loins, these lineages. All right. Go to Genesis 10 and 21. So we can see, because so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we come from Shem. We're a Shemitic, all right? And we are not the only races that are Shemitic, but we come from the Shemitic line who was chosen by the Most High. You can go ahead and read it when you got it. Genesis 10 and 21.
Book of Genesis, chapter 10, and verse 21. And to Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder. Even to him were children born.
Drop to 25.
Verse 25. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan.
Joktan. All right. So now we're stepping into the next one. Okay. Because it's Shem, also the father, father of all the children of Eber. Okay. The brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born, right? Then we go to 25, it says, unto Eber born two sons. Name one was Peleg. In his days, the earth was divided, and his brother, Joktan. All right. Now go to Genesis 11 and 6.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 11 and verse 6. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they all have one language, and this they begin to do.
Hold on, Salakia, where you at? That's talking about Nimrod.
Genesis 11 and 6.
11 and 16, Salakia.
Book of Genesis, chapter 11 and verse 16. And Eber lived 34 years and begot Peleg. Verse 17. And Eber lived after he begot Peleg for 130 years and begot sons and daughters. Verse 18. And Peleg lived 30 years and begot Ru.
Drop down to 20.
In verse 20. And Ru lived 230 years and begot Serug.
Drop down to 24.
Verse 24. And Nahor lived 39 years and begot Terah.
Drop down to 26.
Verse 26. And Terah lived 70 years and begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran.
Drop down to 29.
Verse 29. And Abram and Nahor took them wives, and the name of Abram's wife was Sarah, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, and the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Isupk.
Now drop to 30.
Verse 30. But Sarah was barren and had no children. She had no children, Salakia.
You see? This is where this lineage is coming. It's coming all the way down. There is a pipeline. All right? This is what we have to understand. Because we have been lost and destroyed for so long that we don't understand these things. And this is highly important to know where your lineage comes from. So you can be able to name those names. All right. And we know that, Sarai, she was married to Abraham. Abraham fathered, right? Abraham is a patriarch, is an important figure, right? Because what do we say? We say Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is where we come from. This is real Black history. All right. Our history doesn't start of us coming over here in slave ships. That is not where it starts. Okay? Give me Genesis 12 and 1.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 12 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Lord hath said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thee kindred, and from thy father's house, into a land that I will shew thee.
So the Lord is telling Abraham, I want you to go. You're going to go from everything you know, and you're going to go over there where I will show you, where I will tell you to go. That's what you're going to do. All right? You're going to pack up and you're going to go. That's all I need you to do. Continue reading.
Going out of one corner. Verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation.
Stop right there. Hold on, stop right there. Stop right there. And I will make to thee a great nation. If you do what I tell you, if you pack up and you leave your father and your mother and your family and everything that you know, and you go where I show you, I will make you a great nation. That's what Abraham strived to be. Abraham left because he wanted to be a great nation, even though his wife was barren. And you can't become or get a nation without having children. Okay? This is what we need to know. All right? We add in the warrior. Hey, Trooper, pick us up at Genesis 12 and 2.
Khan. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
You see, as long as Abraham listened to the Most High, he would make him a great nation. He would make his nation great. All right? Continue reading.
Khan. Verse 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
See, when so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in rulership, all the families on the earth will be blessed because they won't be able to do the things that they do. All right. When they over here, they're going to be eating what they're supposed to be eating. They're going to be living how they're supposed to be living. There's not going to be shrimp, crab, and pork in the kingdom. There's not going to be alternative lifestyles. There's not going to be none of those things that plague us. We will put an end to all of our oppressors' wickedness, and everybody will live under us. And when they're living under us, what will they be doing? They will be actually living. Because right now, we're not living. But that's what will happen. They're going to be healthier. They're going to live longer lives. All the other nations, they'll live a longer life because they are going to have to live under the code of the Most High. Continue reading.
Khan. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old. And it's like when he departed out with Haran.
You see, and Lot was like, Lot was like one of them brothers that your uncle right, but you struggle with it, okay? Because what did Lot do? When it was time to leave the other time, he went over to Sodom and Gomorrah, where Abraham told him not to. Okay? But he knew at this time, I better follow my uncle. I might want to go with him. Okay? Let me get Genesis 16 and 1.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 16, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2.
Oh,
And
hold
Sarai,
on, hold on. So she was barren, right? Read that one more time.
Khan. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar.
You see? So she didn't have no children, but what she did have was a handmaid. All right. So this handmaid was Hagar. Now continue reading. Was
Khan.
Hagar. Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 2. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai.
You see, so this is Abraham listening into his rib, and she's saying, "Go into this handmaid, go into this bondwoman, and have children. So maybe I could have children through her, because I'm barren. We are getting way too old to produce a child. So maybe this is what the Lord was talking about when He said He's going to make you a great nation. Maybe He's talking about you going into my handmaid." Continue reading.
Khan. Verse 3. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian. After Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And so like verse 4, and he
Oh, yeah.
went in unto Hagar,
He went into
and she
Hagar. Hold on. He went into Hagar. He went into Hagar, meaning he laid down with her, meaning having sex. Okay. That's what he did. He went into Hagar. Continue.
conceived.
Mm-hmm.
And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes.
You see, that's the thing. She despised Hagar for for being able to get pregnant when her womb was barren. Barren means your wound is closed up. But it's because we that's why we can't lean on our own understanding. All right. We leaning on our own understanding. This is what had happened. Continue reading.
Khan. Verse 5. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee.
You see, so Hagar is looking at her, looking down on her, like, hey, I was able to produce. You weren't. Okay. So she's looking down. Hagar had that spirit of of where she was made to feel better, where she thought she was better than Sarai, but wasn't. All right, continue reading.
Khan. But it's like verse 6. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do it until I can do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when
Stop right there.
Sarai,
No, stop right there. Stop right there. So Abraham was letting her know, like, you are over her. That is your maid. You do what you do with her as you please it. Okay? Whatever the hell you want. She's over there looking at you side eye because she got pregnant, because she was able to produce a baby. All right? This is what we have to understand. Drop down to 11.
Verse 11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael.
Shall what?
Shall call his name Ishmael.
You see? So when Hagar got pregnant, it was told to call his name Ishmael. And we're going to see why. Continue.
Because the Lord hath heard thy affliction.
Hold on. So, like, go back to 16 and 6. We did not finish that out.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 16, verse 6. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleases thee.
So he said, hold on. He said, do with her as it pleases thee. So let's see what she did. Continue.
And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face.
She dealt hardly with her because she was over there boasting, being so proud. These other nations, they will boast in your face. They can do something that you can't. They will be so proud. Anytime they get a chance to spit on you, anytime they get a chance to step on you, they are going to take it. That's why the Bible says to never trust thine enemy. For as iron rusted, so does his wickedness. That's what these other nations are. They are like rust unto iron. They are corruption. They are everything that we do that we don't want to be. Okay? So you should never follow them in their ways. And sometimes you should deal with them harshly. Now go ahead and continue. Or no, drop down to 11. Salakia. Now drop down to 11.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 16, verse 11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction.
Continue.
Verse 12. And he will be a wild man.
And he will what?
He will be a wild man.
He will be a wild man. If y'all don't know who the Ishmaelites are, them are the I want to say this right, so we don't get shut down. We'll say those are the people in the Middle East. That's what we'll say. All right, continue reading.
His hand will be against every man.
His hand will be against every man. Ooh-wee. His hand was against us. They participated in 9/11. His hand will be against every man. Oh, going to go to war. They don't have no problem putting a bomb on their chest, walking in your building, and unaliving everybody.
Slocky, other one. Can you hear me?
God.
You froze. Can I read the definition for affliction?
Okay.
Affliction, something that causes pain or suffering.
Read that one more time.
Affliction, something that causes pain or suffering.
You go against Allah if you want to. Them Israelites is going to cause you pain and affliction.
Come on.
You think they playing games? You need to serve our God like Ishmael serves his God. Those Israelites, they're going to serve their God. They're going to do whatever their God says. What the hell are you going to do? Guys, never trooper, little baby. You gonna do whatever little baby says. You gonna do whatever Sexy Red says. You gonna do what LeBron James says. Not them. They're going whatever God says. We need to serve our God like they serve theirs. All right. This internet trip. Let me just switch over to the next one. That mouse is not doing it. Yeah. Go ahead and continue reading.
Come. And every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. 15 real quick.
It's like I said, could you read that?
Read 15.
Come. Verse 15. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael.
Which are the Israelites, right? But before you read 12, Yaganan, give me Galatians 4 and 25. And hold for me. Galatians 4 and 25. You hold that. Now, Trooper, you read what I call for. Genesis 16 and 12.
Come. What's the book of Genesis, chapter 16, verse 12? And he will be a wild, a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
He shall dwell in the presence of all brethren. Y'all gonna give me what I asked for.
Come. Was that Galatians 4 and 25 out of 1?
Con, hold on, I'm going back. Hold on, let me go back to the other internet. You know, our person is the devil. I gotta switch back and forth through internets. Good night.
Come out of 1, you're breaking up really bad.
But we're gonna do what we gotta do to push this truth. No matter how many ways they try to stop us, no matter how many ways they try to defeat the Israelites of universal practical knowledge under the command in General Yohana, we are undefeated.
Come.
I pray you understand. You can go ahead and give me that.
Come. Galatians chapter 4 and verse 25. For this, Hagar in Mount Sinai in Arabia, an answer to Jerusalem.
And where? And where?
Answer to Jerusalem.
No. Before that, Hagar was what? And where?
Hagar in Mount Sinai in Arabia.
In Arabia. Where the hell is Arabia?
So like the other one, Arab country.
You see that? And what did it say? It say that Ishmael will be there. They are all there. They are all there together in their land, wrapped up right and tight. Whether they're fighting or going to war or whatever, they are all together. Just like the Bible says. And it says Mount Sinai, right? Slovakia, where we at? It says Mount, Sinai in Arabia. Isn't there a Saudi Arabia? So we know where they're at. We know where the sons of Ishmael are at. So how don't we know where the sons of Israel are? These are things we have to understand. This is why we have to be taught so we can correctly navigate through life, understanding who we are, special people to the Most High, understanding that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. Now, Trooper, go back to Genesis and give me Genesis 17:1.
Khan. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect.
Be what?
And be thou perfect.
But only Christ was perfect.
And be thou perfect.
That's what you better be. You better be like Abram and be thou perfect. Your life depends on it. Your nation is counting on it. Continue reading.
Khan. Verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee.
Between who?
Between me and thee.
Me and everybody.
Me and thee.
Uh-huh.
And will multiply thee exceedingly.
Drop down to 5.
No,
actually, just keep reading. Just keep reading. I'm gonna have you read it all the way through.
Verse 3. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
See, the Lord's covenant, the Lord said his covenant will be him. He will father many nations. He did father many nations. Okay? He fathered many nations, but the one important nation is the nation of Israel. Continue reading.
Khan. For it's like verse 5. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations I have made thee.
Continue.
Verse 6. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee.
Which we had. We had kings. We have kings of Israel. We had them. Continue. All the way till our king Yahushua. Go ahead.
And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee.
What? For what? For what covenant?
For an everlasting covenant.
Trooper, what does that mean?
Means
what does everlasting mean, Trooper?
Forever.
Forever. So what the hell is your Christian pastor telling you the laws is done away with? Why is your Christian pastor telling you that everybody is accepted? When the Bible right here just said that I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee and their generations for an everlasting covenant. Continue reading.
Khan. To be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee.
Go ahead and continue.
Khan. Verse 8. And I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God.
You see, that's why we're going to get our land back. Because that land belongs to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Mexicans think Mexico is their land, right? Puerto Ricans think Puerto Rico is their land. Jamaicans think Jamaica is their land. Our land is, and our borders are bigger than they show today.
Con. It's like verse 9. And God said unto verse 9. It's like, so you couldn't out. You said verse 9, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Con. Verse 9. And God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, that thou and thy seed after thee in their generations.
Continue reading.
Con. Verse 10. This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you, and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you, you shall be circumcised. Verse 11. And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you.
Hey, drop down to 15.
Con. Verse 15. And God said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name.
Continue.
Verse 16. And I will bless her and give her thee a son also of her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her.
So it says, and I will bless her, and I will give a son. All right. And through that son, when the Most High blesses her, all right, she shall be the mother of nations, and kings of the people shall be of her. Okay, because this is where it is taking us, because the covenant is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, continue reading.
Con. Then Abraham, was like in verse 17. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart. It's like, sir, you said what?
I said, in what?
And laughed.
He laughed, and Sarah's going to laugh as well. Why? Because it's funny to think that you're going to raise a nation at these ages. All right. They are so old. They're not believing it like that. Continue.
Con. And said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is in 100 years old?
Should a child be born to somebody that is 100 years old? Abraham is 100 years old. The first time it was mentioned of his age was 75, right? And he's thinking, I'm going these 25 damn years, okay? And it is saying that, yes, the Most High is saying, yes, at 100, you can still do it. Continue reading.
And shall Sarah, that is 90 years old, bear?
Drop down to 19.
Con. And God said, Sarah, thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him.
And his seed after him It's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And through Jacob, the 12 tribes were established. And that's why it is. That's why everything this Bible is saying is real. Because this is exactly what happened in the earth. The earth that we live in, the earth that your Christian pastor lives in, but he doesn't teach you to claim your heritage or your lineage because that don't make enough money. Yaganan, he has to have every nation in there. He has to have alternative lifestyles in there so he can make a dollar. And have you seen TD Jakes? I'm pretty sure he's living the alternative lifestyle. All right, continue reading.
Khan. Verse 20. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation.
And that's why they're in their nation. That's why they're in their home with what? All the damn oil. They got all the oil. They over there. They doing swell. They have shahs and all kind of things, right? Those shahs are so powerful, Yaganan. Oh, those shahs got all the gold. They got every damn thing. Go ahead, Yaganan.
Con, it's somebody that I grew up with. No, they're older than me, but this was years ago. They went to Bishop T.D. Jakes' church in Dallas, and he had an issue going on. So he went up there and paid money, and T.D. Jakes blessed him and healed him, and told him, quit taking your medication. God is you healed. God got you, and he almost died out of one. So like it.
Most High in Christ. All right. So when I was young, you know, I knew somebody who went and they seen Benny Hinn. And Benny Hinn slapped her in the face with his jacket, and she thought her cancer was gone. She thought she didn't have to do anything. Well, she is no longer on this earth today.
Wow.
Because she went to a Benny Hinn demonstration. He slapped the hell out of her with a jacket. And now she's not here to put on a jacket. Because she trusts in her oppressors. She trusts in magic. She trusted in mythology. Well, here we in the UPK, we trust in the Most High. Go ahead and continue reading.
Khan. Verse 21. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year.
Go ahead and give me Genesis 18 and 9.
Khan. Look at Genesis chapter 18, verse 9.
Actually,
and they said unto him,
Go ahead.
And they said unto him, Where is Sarah, thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. Verse 10. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah, thy wife, shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him.
So he said that it's saying that Sarah is going to have a son. And Sarah, she over there, she listening, so she hears this. All right. But when she hears this and she's thinking of herself being 90 years old, this is going to do something to her faith. Because some things are unbelievable. Continue reading.
Khan. Verse 11. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women.
Continue.
Verse 12. Therefore, Sarah laughed within
Sarah
herself.
what?
Sarah laughed within herself.
So Abraham laughed at 100. Sarah laughed at 90. Because to them, this is unbelievable. What the hell are you? What the hell are you going through in life that you think is unbelievable? What are you dealing with that you think is unbelievable? That you think can't be conquered by the Most High? You better have faith. TD Jakes got enough faith that he said, if he was doing the things that he's accused of with Diddy, that the blood can save him. Oh, you better have some damn faith. If some power bottom Christian, if some damn, what did Cap say? The TD stands for what? Good night. We might can't say it on here, you know. But all everybody out here has all this faith, all this trust in the Most High. If you are hearing the truth, you better have all the trust in the Most High. Don't laugh. Don't laugh because of your age. Don't laugh because of your health. Don't laugh because of your financial situation. What you do is just follow the Most High. Continue reading.
Khan. It's lucky.
We still in 12.
12, okay. Trying to find where he says she died. Okay,
it's at the beginning. You can just start from the top.
Khan. Verse 12. Therefore, Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also.
She's saying now that she's old and Abraham's old. How is she going to have pleasure? A sexual encounter for this to even happen. They both old. Continue.
Khan. Verse 13. And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child, which am old?
Of surety bear a child. Okay. Shall I of a surety? Shall I be sure that I'm going to have a child when I am this old? Continue reading.
Khan. Verse 14. Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Is what?
Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Cancer.
Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Prison.
Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Money.
Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Transportation.
Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Food in your belly.
Is anything too hard for the Lord?
What the hell are you worrying about when the Bible is telling you right here, is anything too hard for the Lord? Yeah, it might be hard for me. It might be hard for you. Is it too hard for what?
Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Continue reading.
Khan. At the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son.
It says according. It says what? What does it say right there? It says at the appointed time. The Most High appoints a time for you to get out your struggle, for you to get out your vice, for you to have a child, to do this, for you to do that. It's only the Lord's appointed time, not yours. Don't sit back and laugh because you can't believe it. When the Lord He can do anything. Continue reading.
Con. It's like it.
Oh, Salakia.
Verse 15.
No. Go ahead and give me Genesis 21 and 1.
Con. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord visited Sarah as he said. It's like it, as he had said. And the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. Verse 2. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God has spoken to him. Verse 3. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. Verse 4.
See? Because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Continue.
Con. Verse 4. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God had commanded him. Verse 5. And Abraham was 100.
I don't know if I want all of that. I have to give me verse 9. I have to get it all
Con.
to lock it.
Con. Verse 9. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking. Verse 10. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac.
So she's cast out this bondwoman and her son. Ishmael shall not be heir. So when brothers that's in the Nation of Islam, and they're talking about Islam is the comforter, when they're talking about it was how do they put it? When they say it's a new message, right? Because they said that that the Quran was brought forth. You take them here, so they know that Ishmael will not be heir with her son Isaac. They'll try to say that they are because they were granted the 12 princes, like we read before. All right, but they are not a part of us. They are not a part of the covenant. The covenant is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Continue reading. Or drop down to 12. Drop down to 12.
Con.
So like you can read it. And if I cut out again, just keep reading that same thing over and over.
Con. Verse 12. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman, and all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
So the Lord is telling, don't be sad for the young lad, for this bondwoman. Just listening to what Sarah said, because through Isaac shall thy seed be called. Continue reading.
Con. Verse 13. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed.
And he is a nation. We see that, don't we? We're not blind to that. There's a lot of them. Okay. Let me see. Let me skip down so I can get that. Give me Genesis 25 and 21. For time's sake, I'm going to speed up through some of this.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
You see, Rebekah was barren. Her sister Leah was having all of the children. Okay. And she beginning, like any woman. You have two ribs right now, and one can get pregnant and another one can't. Or she is going to hate the other one. That is what's going to happen. All right. So I can treat about his wife Rebecca, who he loved, who he wanted children with, and she conceived. All right. Continue reading.
Con. Verse 22. And the Lord, it's like, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she
So
went
when them children are struggling in her, she's going to inquire the Lord to wonder, like, why, if I'm supposed to be pregnant, why am I going through this? Why is there so much going on in my belly? Continue.
Con. Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder
Continue.
shall serve the younger.
Continue.
Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Verse 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. We know who the real red people are. They want to call our native Indian brothers and sisters red. We know who the red people are. Okay? Come out hairy. They red and they are hairy. They're red because you can see the blood through their skin, the hue of the blood through their skin. Continue reading.
And they call his name Esau.
Actually, drop down to, where is it at? Yaganan, find me. Find me where it says that Esau was a man of the field and Jacob was in the tent. It should be right in there somewhere. Is it 27? Where I don't have it in here, but I definitely need that found. Trooper, you continue reading.
Khan. And verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
Continue reading.
Verse 27. And the boys grew.
Yep.
And Esau was a cunning hunter.
He was a what?
A cunning hunter.
Oh, he's a cunning hunter. He's going to wake up real early. He's going to put that deer piss all over his body, and he's going to go out there and he is going to unalive Bambi. He's a cunning hunter. He is sneaky. All right, continue reading.
Khan, a man of the field.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
We in the house. We chilling. While they out there unaliving for sport, we are in the house. Continue reading.
Khan. Verse 28. And Esau loved Isaac, and Isaac loved Esau, because he did eat of his venison.
Yep. Continue.
But Rebekah loved Jacob. Verse 29. And Jacob saw
right. Hold on. And what we're about to see is how we got the covenant. Because Esau sold his birthright. They want to tell you that it was stolen, that Jacob stole his brother's birthright. Let's see what the Bible says. Continue reading.
Khan. And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Continue.
And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
Do what?
Sell me this day thy birthright.
I'm going to steal your birthright.
Sell me this day thy birthright.
I'm going to sneak behind your back and get your birthright.
Sell me this day thy birthright.
Continue.
And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?
So he was about to be unalived in his mind. So he says, what does this birthright have to, what good could it do for me? If I'm not here, who gives a damn about the birthright? Give me some of that pottage. Continue.
Verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him. He sold his birthright unto Jacob. Verse 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage and lentils, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
He despised his birthright because he didn't have it no more. He didn't have a tie into the Most High anymore. Give me 27 and 30.
Khan. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, And Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from hunting.
Drop down to 35.
Come. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety.
Subtlety. So he's trying to say his brother was cunning. Trying to say his brother was subtile, but he wasn't. You see, your oppressor is always trying to be subtile all the way back till now. Because why? He's trying to say that you were subtile. Ain't that what they do to you? Ain't that what they do to you? You're the criminal. You're the thief. They done stole your lineage, your heritage, your name, your people, but you are the thief. They put all the drugs, they create the drugs, put them in your neighborhood, but you're the drug dealer. This is what Esau was doing way back then. You were saying you were subtile. You were saying you tricked him when y'all had an honest agreement. When was the last time your oppressor upheld a honest agreement? You could shake hands with him, write out the terms, and you know what he's going to do? He's going to be subtile. He's going to be cunning. He's going to find a way to defeat you. He's going to go behind your back. All the while he's trying to get it seem like that's what you do.
Verse 35. And he hath taken away thy blessing.
Where you at?
The same verse 35 after subtlety.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yep.
And hath taken away thy blessing.
Continue.
Verse 36. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. And he took away my birthright. And behold, now he had taken away my blessing.
You see how conniving Esau is? It said that Jacob got over on him 2 times with his birthright and his blessing. Is he an idiot? Because those go together. And if he wasn't hungry and had that pottage, he Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But he sold his birthright, thus for he sold his blessing. Continue.
Come. Now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Verse 37.
Continue reading.
And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord.
I
have made him thy Lord.
I have made him thy Adawan. Continue.
Come. And all his brethren hath I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
Louis. All right, let me find where I need to go. Bear with me 1 second. Give me Genesis 30:1. Let me see if I want that. Let me see where we're going. There's just a lot on here. Yeah, let me get that. Genesis 30:1.
Come. Look at Genesis chapter 30, verse 1. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no
Rachel,
children, I was like it. Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children. Rachel envied her sister.
because Leah was having babies back to back to back to back. All right, we got 12 tribes, right?
Come
Do
on.
y'all know the tribes that come from Rachel?
Sir.
All right. Well, the two sons that come from Rachel are Joseph and Benjamin. And Joseph is the producer of Ephraim and Manasseh, which are the so-called Puerto Ricans and the so-called Cubans, and Benjamin. And and Benjamin is the so-called Jamaicans. So you can imagine if we're the 12 tribes of Israel and three tribes coming out of Rachel and the rest are coming from Leah, which not literally because their handmaids had bare children as well. So we got to understand that as well. Continue reading.
Come on. And said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, am I in God's stead, who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb?
So he's getting mad because it's the one he loved the most. So he's like, what the hell is going on? Continue reading.
Con. Verse 3. And she said, behold my maid, Bilhah, go in unto her. And she said, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her.
Continue.
And she gave Bilhah her handmaid to wife, and Jacob went in unto her. And Bilhah conceived, and bare Jacob a son.
You see? So
And Rachel said, it's like it.
No, go ahead.
And it's like it. And Rachel said, verse 6, and Rachel said, God hath judged me, and hath also heard my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan.
Continue reading. You
Verse
see,
7.
this is where these, you see that? You see, do you understand why we are the 12 tribes of Israel? It's not because of who the woman is, it's because of who the man is. Because Jacob went into Rachel's handmaid, her servant, and she bared him a son. And his name was called Dan. Continue reading.
Con. Verse 7. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, with great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali.
Continue reading.
Verse 9. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife. Verse
Hold on
10.
one second. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Because I want to get something. Let me see if I can find it. Damn, I don't got it. I'll get it next time. Continue reading.
Con. It's like it. Verse 9. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her unto Jacob to wife. Verse 10. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, a troop cometh. And she called his name Gad.
So we need to understand that you know where we come from, because we were taught that we come from two women, right? We come from four, but that don't matter because we come from one man. The lineage is between Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. And with that, is there any questions?
No, I don't want.
Last sir.
And I got a lot more to this lesson. Okay. Just time is getting beside us. All right. Give me the security announcements.
Con.
We ain't gonna finish this up next week, but the week after.
Con.
We'll get all the way more in depth because I have a lot more on this. Let me see. Yeah, I got more. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Let me just see some things. Give me Genesis 32 and 25. Let me at least get the end so we can.
Con. Verse. This is Genesis chapter. It's like it. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 32, verse 5.
No, 32
verse 5.
25.
It's like you said. You said what?
32. We'll start at 32 and 1. Just go to 32 and 1. Genesis 32 and 1, just so we can clarify this of how we became Israel. Go ahead.
Con. This is verse 1. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. And when
Drop down to 4.
And it's like you said what?
Drop down to 24.
Con. Verse 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him unto the breaking of day.
See, Jacob was wrestling the angel. Oh, he was wrestling him. Continue.
Verse 25. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him.
You see, the conscious community, they want to say that this is an alternative lifestyle act right here because he touched the hollow of his thigh. This is fighting. This is war. This is Jacob wrestling with an angel, wrestling so hard that his leg came out of joint. All right, out of the joints. Continue reading.
Con. Verse 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me.
When you on the brink of pain of anything, you don't never let go. He's wrestling with this angel, and he is not going to let go. He said, "Why? I'm not going to let go unless you bless me. Till I get this blessing, you are going to have to unalive me if you want me to let go." Continue reading.
Con. Verse 27. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince has thy power with God and with men, and has prevailed.
You see? And that's why we are Israel, Yasharallah, Prince of the Power, the sons and daughters of the Most High. Okay? This was important to understand where we come from, how to break it down. But next week, I believe we're going to be getting on Valentine's Day. Ain't that coming up? If you don't get your mama, if you don't get your grandma, your mama, and your wife that stupid bear and those nasty chocolates, you are not getting talked to for the rest of the month and into next month. But with that, we are the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commandant General Yohana. Let's get the security announcements.
Con. Isupk security announcements. We are the Isupk, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10 means 10th in Hebrew. Ma'ashra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Upcoming holy convocations, the 14th, Salakia is Purim, the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. Thursday, the 22nd of February, and Friday, the 23rd of February, 2024. Find us in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 through 31.
If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf.
With that, we're going to Amagium. And we're going to get the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew and the English. All right? Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakaka. Tabayan. Ratazayaka. Hayah. Asham. Warataza. Kawin. Hayah. Bashamayim. Latamanawa. Will come. Call. Yuwam. Wasalakia now.
Asanaki now.
Kabawatia now.
Kabawati now.
Kasalakia now.
Kasanaki now.
Kabawatia now.
Kabawaki now.
Malaa.
Yala.
Tabanayawa.
Tabanayawa.
Banasayawan.
Wanasayawan.
Kabal. Yahweh
Yahweh
Mayan.
Rai.
Kaya. Laka. Mamalakwa. Wahala. Wahata Paraf. Lawalayam. Amen. Shalaka, let me get this brother back in here real quick. All right, now in the English. Our Father which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Shalaka, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. In earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Forgive us our debts and we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
Lead us not to temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
deliver us from evil.
Thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
All right, men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amazim Shabbat, Amazim, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatam. All right, we're going to Yajamatah. We're going to turn, turn, face the sisters, rise. Men of Israel, Amazim Shabbat, Amazim, Barak,
Yahweh Shemar Edatah Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah.
Class dismissed.